Hi everybody. If this is your first video watching me, welcome in. My name is Donna. If this isn't your first video, welcome on back. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. I hope everything's going good. Um, I want to talk about a certain issue that I've noticed that on my personal TikTok, which is uniquely Donna. Um, I have been, like getting mixed signals about like a certain thing, and that is the facial hair. Yeah, I know I'm not the prettiest bitch or the prettiest person because of this and because of like my weight. I don't really care about attracting people, like attracting people to that I would think I would date. I wanna clarify that. But this video is not about like me attracting so many people because I am bisexual and I am demisexual as well. I'm not here to try to attract people to romance with. Literally, this entire video is not even that. I want to kind of talk about polycystic ovarian syndrome, and despite my voice sounding the way it does at the moment, I'm a little sick, I'm a little under the weather. Um, despite the voice being a little bit deeper in this video, um, I've been born a woman. I do dress kind of pretty tomboyish, pretty like modestly because I was raised by two people who prefer people like women to dress modestly and then like wear dresses to a certain length, which I don't like wearing dresses at this point, but I don't mind wearing it either way if it means for the right occasion. Like if I wear it for the right occasion, I don't really give a fuck. But polycystic ovarian syndrome is a disorder that affects women and also girls as well, as young as 11 or 12. And it's basically a hormonal imbalance. And now here's the thing. Um, when I checked, and I could check it with you guys too. Last time I checked the statistics, I think anywhere between 5 and 8% of uh, people who are born as a girl and are currently women or still are girls, 5 to 8% as young as 11 or 12 years old have this condition. Um, so as long so for those who actually get their cycles at a young age, as you can be at risk of having this condition. And not every person that was born as a woman has this condition, but it does affect people. It does affect women. And I've gotten on my personal TikTok over I think like over the past 3 years at this point, it's kind of been like a repeat of people thinking I'm transitioning, and which is kind of weird because I've never really thought about transitioning. I mean, like I don't mind other people or other adults specifically transitioning from one gender to the other. I don't care. Like I don't mind them doing it. I currently have no thoughts of doing it. Currently, at this time. I don't know down the line if I'm gonna ever change and transition to the other gender, like to a man. I don't think that's gonna be possible at this time. But if down the line, if I ever do consider it, I'll let you guys know. Like on TikTok, on Instagram, on here on YouTube. But at this time, I'm not a man. I may act like a man because I have like tomboyish features. I don't mind wrestling down a dude for to if it means like doing it out of like if I play with them and stuff when I was younger, I wouldn't have minded wrestling down a dude or a boy if I was like 10 or 11. It's like I don't care. Like and nowadays I think I'm like I've been told I'm rather patient by people I actually know in the creative field. I'm rather patient, but then I'm like the type of person that doesn't like bullshit too, so try to avoid as much bullshit as possible. Anyway, outside of the tangent, I did look up, sorry, a little bit of a thing. I did look up this where it does say that approximately 10% of women, based off the AI overview from Google, Google's your fan, look it up. Approximately 10% of women of reproductive age between 18 and 44. I found out a month before I turned 18, so that was interesting. Worldwide. This translates to an estimated of 5 to 6 million women in the United States. This doesn't, when they say 18 to 44, this doesn't cover girls between 11 and 17. And that's kind of interesting. And if we click on the World Health Organization, their website, it goes into a much better uh, it goes into a much more interest, like it goes in more in depth is what I'm trying to say. Where it says PCOS is a significant public health problem and is one of the commonest or most common hormonal disturbances affecting women of reproductive age. The condition affects an estimated 6 to 13% of women of reproductive age, and up to 70% of cases are undiagnosed. The prevalence of PCOS is higher amongst some women, some ethnicities, and these groups often experience more complication, in particular, related to metabolic problems. Now, the thing, and this was posted up back in February, right? This February 7th of 2025. You could see like literally just above the key facts if you can see it, and if you can't, February 7th, 2025, right? And for me, I found out a month before I was 18, like literally June of 2010. I've had this for well over 15 years at this point. The reason as to why I haven't really focused so much on like trying to maintain my weight or trying to focus on my health until like back in 2020 when I was trying different May of 2020 when I was trying different things was mainly because I was focusing more on trying to get a degree and trying to work my ass off so my parents don't have to depend on supporting every financial lifestyle that I wanted to get into. So luckily the only thing that they the only thing that they really expect from me is really to make my own money my own way, and also um, through hard work, by the way, and also get a degree, and also make sure to be healthy as possible. Which since May of 2020, I weighed myself at 268. That was my heaviest, right? That was my heaviest. And one of the symptoms that I do have is struggling to actually lose weight. And I know I haven't worked as hard as I possibly could to actually ensure that I lose even more weight. Um, like as of this morning, I'm at 234.4 pounds, and that's like a stark difference versus how much I weighed back in 2020, which was 268 pounds. Like I am currently in the phase of trying to build my business, and I feel like once I do try to build my business a little bit better, um, then I could probably get into a gym once a week or stuff like that. I want to get more into walking a lot more, and I do go to events, and like half the time I'm there, I'm spent walking around my table trying to get people interested in purchasing my stuff. So I'm doing the work. I'm doing the work. Trust me, I'm progressing. I'm at least trying to progress to better myself over time. There was recently also a website that mind you, I like to watch Tectone and Asmongold on YouTube whenever I'm crocheting and whenever I'm not on um, TikTok doing lives. Like to watch their videos, and when I do, it's very enjoyable to see their takes on it and see how similar their takes on it on life, on everyday topics, is similar to mine. Even though I was raised to be a Democrat, and I am actually more on like the undecided No, I claimed I think I claimed either undecided or independent. It's been so long ago. I have to like see on my driver's license. But there was this one thing that I recently started doing that has helped me lose lose even more weight from being in the 237 to 242 pound range to like now where I'm at, which is 234.4 pounds, was this one website called BMR, the BMR calculator on calculator.net. I looked that stuff up because he was Tectone was the one that recommended it. He was live stream from like from one of his live streams. I can't remember which one. I don't watch his live streams, but I do watch his videos. And this was what I was following, right? So yeah, like Tectone was the one that recommended this, and like I'm about to turn 33 in a week and a half from the time of me recording this video, but by the time this video comes out, it's gonna be like in a couple of days. So if I put in my age, which is 33 basically, and put my height, which is 5 feet 2 inches. Yes, I'm a short woman, y'all. We don't I don't want to talk about it. So and then we put in the weight and calculate the BMR or basal metabolic rate would be 1,721 calories a day for me. But if I do set it like little to or no exercise, um, it's gonna be like based on activity level, I would have to have like 2,066 calories a day. But in order to ensure I lose some weight, it would have to be 1,721. And now, and also based on activity level, they tell you like if you're gonna be exercising 1 to 3 times a week, 4 to 5 times a week, daily exercise or intense exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Like it goes very like based off of activity level, and I really like that. And I try to incorporate that as much as possible. Yes, I'm loosely basing it off of that because when I tried to strictly do that, based on that, I literally got dizzy for a couple of days. I literally had severe low blood sugar, and I actually ended up puking at least once. So I kind of like took it back a little bit. Where if I do need something based off my low blood sugar, sweet. Like I'm not gonna lie. And you know, sweets are my weakness because I know that based off my polycystic ovarian syndrome or PCOS, sweets are my my vice. But I'm doing my best to hold back. Um, I don't drink as much soda as I used to. I used to drink soda religiously almost every day. And now it's really hard to see me drink soda except for like once in a while, like maybe once every couple weeks. And normally when I drink soda, it's always either zero sugar or diet soda. I always try to avoid drinking regular, like just the regular soda. Cause like unless I want to try one of the new flavors that Coca-Cola or Pepsi comes out with, that's different. Like I would like to try it out and see how it is, you know. But then otherwise, almost all the time I'm diet soda, regular or zero sugar. I don't do anything else. And the thing is, there's been a the re, the reason as to why I'm talking about this is because there is a video that I posted up that wasn't even related to my weight, right? And I'll show you guys here which one I'm talking about. This one was posted 2 days ago about me talking about like vendors taking like at least 30 minutes or more setting up and taking down. And that was me kind of realizing that my setup is very simple. And that's basically I've been doing a lot of crowd control. So like luckily I haven't been receiving like luckily there's no hate on the comment section. Of course, I only kept the ones that were related to the video. Luckily that's a thing. But This was me kind of realizing that the amount of time it took me is very simple, and I felt kind of small compared to like some of the other people that were either reselling secondhand stuff, or they made their own stuff and they're just selling it in events like flea markets, which this video was from a flea market I did 2 days ago, or like other events like pop-ups, artisan markets, uh, what have you, like street fairs, like random stuff that's been happening all over New Jersey. And I do a lot of my events are in within like Bergen and Hudson counties in New Jersey. And there's a follow-up video that I did where I was one of the comments I kind of related to this. And if you guys can tell, my setup is rather simple. Like, the only thing I like, the one that takes the most time would be the tent, and just trying to get the table and set up with, along with the table runner and tablecloth set up there. That's the most amount of time that that I take in order to get set up and stuff. Otherwise, the only thing I really have to do is set all this shit up. And the dishcloths that you could use as pot holders, and people even say that it could also be used as for like when you're cleaning makeup brushes, because of how the how like the I do the waffle stitch. And I'll show you in a little bit how they look like closer to than what you're seeing there. But yeah, like this is my entire setup. You know, and like I like to have a drink next to me just in case, and I'm always standing close to my cash box, so nobody would steal it. And I always carry like the heavier bills in my pocket, just in case. So like anything over like $5-10, I don't carry it in there. I really don't. But yeah, it's like um I make all like the teddy bears, the candles, the soap that you see on either side of the card there, the dishcloths. I make them all myself, and I enjoy it. I dude, those I spent hours making those, by the way, but I still enjoy it to this day. And I'll even show you one of the dishcloths now. Hold on. Okay, so I have yet to sew the ends in, as you guys could tell, but this is generally how the waffle stitch looks like. And if you guys ever go back to like one of the two videos that came out, I did credit the person who made this pattern. So this is really cool as well. I really like making it. I don't like hate making it, and like I'm even in the midst of making another one. As you guys can see right here, I'm making this one in burgundy. So yeah, I take my time making stuff, and I really love it. Like I really love making random stuff and selling it. But yeah, like I've been dealing with the hate for like 3 years now, and I have no idea as to why. Like maybe because like I just like I don't mind showing what I'm currently going through, or what I currently look like. I don't mind, like I'm focusing more on my business. I don't really care about how I look. I think that's how I am, you know? Heck, I remember like 3 years ago when I was starting to get a lot of hate from in like August of 2022, all the way up to December of 2022, when I made a apology video to the trolls, and that like garnered a little over 6 million views at that point. And I remember I was at such a low point that I almost considered hurting myself real bad. And that was my lowest point. I don't think I ever mentioned that to anybody. I was at my lowest mentally speaking, right? I didn't know that video was going to go viral, and it did. Luckily it did. Thank goodness. Like now that I think about it, thank goodness I still keep it up to this day, because it's like when I go and rewatch it, it's a stark reminder of how far I went from that sensitive, very overly sensitive person to now the type of person where I kind of don't give a shit like what you like any negative thing you have to say about me, as long as I know that I'm just working on myself, and I don't want other people to see that and like feel sorry for me. Just like the hate comments, I feel like just the hate comments in general about my PCOS without asking me if I have PCOS prior to it is kind of just messed up. Really, I don't want to give them any hate. I'm doing my best to not give the trolls any hate or specifically like give them any notoriety, because like that's what they want. Like that's what TikTok is to people wanting to be famous, right? Not being more and not trying to be more creative like I'm trying to be, or some other people are trying to be. It's kind of weird how TikTok works. So yeah, I forgot where I was at because I'm kind of experiencing brain fog. Brain fog. Anyway, I think haven't covered like the symptoms of my PCOS, which it was like I do grow facial hair. I do experience brain fog sometimes. I have trouble sleeping at night. So like what I do is like if I don't feel super sleepy, and mind you, I stay up for like sometimes 14, 15 hours in a day, and only sleep like in reality sometimes as little as like 2 or 3 hours. To as much as like if I feel like truly tired and I haven't slept like probably slept for like more than 6 hours in a night for like a couple of days straight, I'll end up sleeping for 9 or 10 hours. But yeah, like I don't go to sleep until like at least 1 or 2 in the morning, or if not like latest, I would stay up until like what 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then just go to sleep and won't wake up until like I think around 2 in the afternoon. Which I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. But yeah, it's like I'm literally trying my best to kind of combat everything, and I think I was at this point too where I am trying my best to kind of like do crowd control in the video that kind of got viral, crazy viral for no reason. Been dealing with a lot of like, oh yeah, no, I was actually sorry. Sorry, I was at the part where I was talking about like I was at my lowest point, which was pretty much like I was at my lowest point in December of 2022, and the amount of support that I received on that TikTok video, it expanded into Twitter, which is now called X, uh, Instagram, and there was even a YouTube video of someone covering the apology, and I'm like, and I find that video until like later down the line, which I don't know if I could still pull it up or anything like that, but seeing the amount of people in support in Leo to me was pretty much great, and it kind of made me feel better about myself, and I didn't want to end up harming myself uh, at that point. And then like I think like about 2 weeks later, my maternal grandmother passed away, so that kind of hit me hard. Um, but since then, I've been working on just being immune to the heat. Kind of deal with my own personal stuff, and it works. Like, yeah, I don't mind talking about like the hate I receive, because like at this point, it doesn't really affect me. Like, but I'm gonna let you guys know I see all the hate comments, and luckily I'm like I'm a little confused as to why people would still hate me despite me not doing anything bad, at least to my knowledge. Um, if I did, I would like people to point it out. But as far as I know, I don't think I do anything bad. And I don't think that kind of warrants pointing out my facial hair. Uh, I'm not sure if this means like them being insecure, or they're just or anything like that. I don't know. I like to this day I still want to know, and I don't want to make any bold assumptions because of something someone had said about me. because at least I know I'm trying to live my life how I can, and if it means like slowly losing weight, minimizing the symptoms that I get from PCOS, because there's no cure. I don't think I said it earlier, but there's no cure for PCOS. There's no cure. I wish there was, but there isn't. And because of that, it's like all I have to do is try to lose weight and try to minimize the risk of it. So yeah, that I think that's it. That's the whole thing I can really talk about, because I don't think there's really much else I can really talk about other than that. And if you guys watched this much of it, and if you want to react to this video on your own channel, you're more than welcome to. I know sometimes I do have stuttering problems and I do have a little bit of brain fog, so I don't always know where I leave off in my videos, but hopefully you guys can enjoy this one, and we can work things out. So yeah, I hope you guys like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll hope to see you guys in the next video. By the time this video comes out, it's gonna be 4 days before my birthday. My birthday's on the 16th. If you want to say happy early birthday on any one of the videos, you're more than welcome to. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, have a nice rest of your day, guys.